show something.
Huh?
Make him show something. Daytona Community Policing.
Just talking to one of them.
Crosses have multiplied. Now there's at least 1, 2, 3, at least 4. There's the devil. Girls are showing off again. Cock teasing again. Well, they're saying bullshit. Keep your arm down. There you go. Now they're going, fuck you. Sheila and Becca. That's their boyfriend. There's their old man going again. This is a Becca thing. This is a picture of our hotel, the Travel Lodge. There's the actual entrance right there. There's a Pepsi truck. And we're near the intersection of Common and Barome. That's where we're at. Actually, there's a street sign, and there's the hotel right there. This is what the streets look like after Mardi Gras, and it smells bad too. And then here you can see pieces of pizza and chicken bones and all kinds of other trash. And there's Sheila with her funky looking socks. Here it is just about noon, and they're still up there doing it. People down there trying to get it while cars are going by. Sheila's out getting beads. They're up there throwing them. Didn't do so hot. She's moving on. There's the sign. Somebody's honking at the... Now get him to do it. There they are up there trying. People down there trying to get them. They actually open it up the streets. There's a real pretty decorated house. And we're on Bourbon Street. It's kind of quiet right now, but not real. I mean, they're still up there throwing beads and stuff. People are trying to get them, but they want to see Tit, so she ain't going to get any. Well, we're in the Irish pub. Actually, we're in the back of the Irish pub, I think, where we're getting ready to eat. We're serving out of the kitchen. Then we're going to go over into the bar over there and eat and listen to music. Okay, Irish stew, shepherd pie, corned beef sandwich, and there's the bar and our waitress coming with our drink. You don't like me, just leave me alone. I leave when I'm hungry, and the moonshine don't kill me. Oh, moonshine, oh, how I love thee. You killed my... At the harvest fair, she'll be surely there, so I dress so as something close. But a shirt shone bright, but a cap right right from his mind, but a never came right for it. Read the streets of Boston, near the line, but whatever read her. Charlie Hampton ended on at the express station and
change for Jamaica place. When he got there, the conductor told him one morning the train couldn't get off a new train. Come on, where did he ever return? Oh, he never returned, and his baby is still on there. Good old Charlie, yeah, right, forever in the streets of Boston, he's a man who never returned. And all night long, try to ghost the state rock. Oh, what would become of me? How can I see my sister down in Shanghai, my cousin in Roxbury? Come on, when did he ever return? Oh, he never returned, and his baby is still on there. Good old guy, yeah, right, forever in the streets of Boston, he's a man who would never returnn. Square station and we take that corner by the shoe. When open when again, big time we just the train from trouble and truth. Oh, when he ever returned, oh, he never returned, and the baby's still on there. We've been right forever in the streets of Boston, he's right, whoever returned. God, you citizens of Boston, don't you think it's tragic when people have to pay and pay? Well, with white bear and we fall, George O'Brien, get Charlie off the MTA. Policy never returned, oh, we never returned, and his baby is still on there. But old George, he may ride forever in the streets of Boston, he's the man who would ever return. Come on!
Okay, that's where we were at. That's what it looks like on the outside. I'll turn off the backlight. And I'm not sure which is a better picture for you, but you got them both. And there's Sheila. We just left there. We're down in Jackson Square. It's closed off. That's where we're supposed to meet Becca and Craig. There's a guy riding a real tall one-wheel bicycle. And there's the crowd watching him.
Make it look like you're out. Red button in there.
There's Tony taking a picture of us.
Punch that little round.
You got it.
There's a friend we met that's got a bike.
Get it? Yeah, that's right.
There they are doing some shopping. Dad just walked behind the crowd. There's Pat and Jeannie and Arlo. And there's Dad's back. Okay, we're on the Riverwalk. And there's some of the crowd just looking up a side street. Of course, it's just as crowded on the Riverwalk. And there we all are. There's all my beads.
Now tell them what I had to do for them.
There's Bill's beads. And right across the street, and I'm surprised Sheila hasn't went over there yet, is Harrah's Casino.
That's some Spanish guy. You should have been there.
Here we're into high finance, trying to come up with $750 for the trolley. That's okay, cut right on. I think we finally got it together.
Hey, everybody.
Okay, we're looking at an art gallery. That's what Sheila's going to get me for my birthday. And here's some others on the wall.
I think it's nice that we're
I'm going to do that again. I had the little knob turned and I don't know what you saw.
Everything else.
So we're at an art gallery. That's the big one by the front door. And there's some others back there. And then on the other wall, there's something a little different. And there's another one down the hall. I think different's the best way to describe it. There's Sheila and Jeff and Tony. We're in the warehouse district.
I understand.
And we're walking to a parade. I don't know what for. Okay, which parade is this?
Proteus.
This is Proteus. We're just catching the end of it. And we're kind of behind the crowd, as you can see. These are the original old-time floats. They've still got the wooden wheels and everything. the end of that parade. We're getting ready to go to the next one. What's the next one? Orpheus. There's the shrine. There's the parade starting. Marine Corps band. This is a 3-year-old mega float. And unfortunately, it's kind of hard to see because of all the lights on the trailer. Okay, we can hang it on something else. Have you got one? I got one.
Got one. You want it?
There's the name of the float and then the name of the parade. That's the parade.
Like about 30 years ago. I mean, what parent would buy their kid a tube? They gotta be a permanent leg.
nose job, and then they went to bed. I'll bet you I'm pretty damn accurate. What do you want to bet me? The end of the parade. Hope yes. There's what Tony did.
Next we have Bars of Bohemia.
And that's what Jeff did. And this is what Sheila did. Turn around.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us your name again.
My name is Herman Woods, better known as The Bat.
That's the Bat there.
The Bat.
We're in the Bat's taxi. The Bat has saved the day.
Yes, he has.
Because we're headed for the French Quarter after 2 hours of walking around.
Best person we've seen in New Orleans.
I'm the best person you'll see on the face of this planet.
Okay, we're walking through the market right now.
Where's the logic in that?
That'll be the shirt I'll get if I don't find a better one, because it's the best one right now.
For you?
Yeah, but what? Again, we're walking through the market. Yesterday you couldn't walk through this place. Now it's kind of wide open because everybody's up at the parades and Bourbon Street and stuff. This is Fat Tuesday. Okay, we just got some French pastry. We'll eat it for dessert later. And we're at Jackson Square. Here's the pastry place. And here's all the little shops and stuff. Although the place is pretty well deserted right now because all the parades and stuff going on Canal Street. Jackson Square shut off, has been for a couple of days. So we couldn't get in there. It's getting made legal. Now we turn the other way. We're at Bubba Gump Shrimp Company, where we intend to eat. And here's the inside of it. Other people waiting. Pretty crowded. 20-minute wait. Okay, there's Sheila's drink. What is it? Raspberry?
Delta Sunset.
Delta Sunset. There's Sheila. There's her face. And
Mardi Gras Day.
there's her food, coconut shrimp. Mine's a Lieutenant Dan. It's shrimp and sausage and garlic potatoes. And this is Forrest Gump's here. We're upstairs. There's some big ones. There she is showing off for Elvis.
You got more of those magic asparagus balls? You know they got no chips.
Here we are on the Chateau Sonora. Is that what it is? There's the parade route. Come in focus. There we go. There's the parade route. And then we're throwing some beads, and some people above us is throwing some beads. This is Fat Tuesday, Carnival Day. And there's down Bourbon Street.
I'm sure it had everything in it.
We're in the 100 block. It's not really as crowded as I expected.
Guess what? Go down on it. No. I don't know if he pickpocketed her or it came out, but he put his foot on it.
We're back in focus. And that's all the way to the end. There's Becca and Craig drawing beats.
Hey, wait a minute. Coconut bread. Hey, coconut. All of them. Come on. Hey! Go down, go. Hey! Don't let your friends.
take a cab up to the interstate.
Anyone you want, come on.
Guys at work.
One more time. Whole handful. Whole handful. All of them.
There she is, I think.
Hey, Red.
Getting ready to. Maybe not. Don't think she can.
Hey. Hey, Red.
She wants some white ones down there. There's 7-Eleven Bourbon Street. We're going in there to see Freddie.
This thing, wait, come here. This thing is going to be this big.
I think that's a guy, but I'm not sure. Tell me when he flips it, I'd like to get the other side. Well, we're in about the 800 block of Bourbon Street. That'll show a little bit better.
Here, this will show a little bit better right here.
What?
Right over there. They were against it.
Which one?
The two with their arms around each other in the middle over there.
You feel me, girl? When I talk to women, the other.
We've got an impromptu mini parade here. It seems to be held up in traffic. There's Becca and Craig. Look this way, Craig. Wasting away in Margaritaville, which is where we're at. There's his aerial plane. You see a lot of people sitting at a lot of tables. What you don't see is a lot of waiters. Seems to be kind of a slow night.
When I heard the sound of a right above me head, well, I was quick and I was slick, so up the stairs I fled, and very surprised, and they were having a right before me eyes. Oh, and they were having a right before me eyes. Now when the fun was over and done, the lady raised her head. Well, very surprised was she to find me standing by the bed. If you would be discreet, me boy, if you would be so kind, why don't you come up with some, whenever you feel inclined.
Playing music on the street corner. Okay, here we are at the intersection of Bourbon Street and 1 block in. And look at the trash. The streets and sidewalks are wet. We don't really know why. And it's pretty crowded there. We're going to look at it. We may go down that 1 block. We may turn around. Okay. It's 10:18 on Fat Tuesday. And that's Bourbon Street. I don't know what you can see. How far. That's maximum zoom. And we're picture is to show you the trash. Look at the trash in the street, down the street. Looks like a Doug's Choppers show. Just right on down the road, as far as you can see, is trash. In front of Bill and Pat's, Becca and Craig's getting ready to leave out. There's Patty and Katie and Jeannie and Sheila. And there's Bill. And my bike's up there all by itself. Sheila wouldn't let me ride.
I was just glad I could get this close.
Well, there's Becca and Craig getting ready to leave. So just as soon as they get on that bike, they're headed to their destination, Daytona Beach, Florida. Well, there they are, getting ready to take off. Bye. We'll see you. There's Bobby and Sheila. They're all getting ready to go now. Becca and Craig just left. They're headed out, and Bob and Sheila's going to follow them, but they're not going to stay together. They're going to meet in Daytona. Well, Patty, thanks for everything. Thanks for coming and getting us. Really appreciate it. And storing our vehicle.
Come back anytime.
Okay. Jeannie? Well, hopefully you're all coming up for too long. There's their machine, all set to go.
Good to see you.
Just have a good trip. We've got lots of meetings. We're at McGuire's Irish Pub in Pensacola. Took us 35 minutes to take a 5-minute ride. So we kind of got lost. There's some pretty unique houses behind it. Okay, we're in McGuire's. The place is covered with dollar bills. It says that waitress, her first tip she put on the wall for luck, and since then 150,000 people's done it. So, well, that's kind of the thing here. Kind of give you a close-up of it. Say there's 150,000 of them in here. And here's our appetizer. It's bean soup. And the thing said it's 18 cents a bowl. So that's what it cost when they first opened. The same as they were serving it in Washington, D.C. And everyone knows Washington can't control costs, so theirs just went up to $2 a bowl, but this one's still 18 cents. There's our corned beef and cabbage. It's quite a pile, too. There's some more of the dollar bills on the wall. There's the Irish motto right there. We're at JC's Oyster Deck, packed as usual. There's Becca talking to Robin. There's the boats. There's Sheila sitting over there. And Craig. And we stood in line, and the line's backed up to right there, which is way past all of the seating. And we stood in line 55 minutes to get way up there to order. You can see it. There's the JC's Oyster Deck Bike Week 2000 t-shirt. And somebody's food's ready. But as many people as is here, I doubt if it's ours. And there's the line. Whoop, went out of focus. Goes way out past the food. And there's Craig and Sheila. And I don't know where Becca went. She must have went to the bathroom. And here's the water and the boats. We're at St. Augustine. Okay, here we are at St. Augustine again. There's the drawbridge. There's the lighthouse. There's the old town down there. We're going to ride a carriage here pretty soon. And there's the fort down there. And here comes Sheila. She went to get something to drink.
And that's the 9th one to be built in that location. The first were made out of wood and palm logs, and well, they didn't last too good up against cannonball fire. They finally built the Castillo out of what they call coquina. Now coquina is no more than sand, lime, and a whole bunch of seashells pressed together underneath the Earth's surface about the time of the dinosaurs. They quarried it off our bay on Anastasia Island. Now the Spanish were so nice to the Timucuas that you won't find any of them in St. Augustine because that breed, that one was put up in the cross was put up in 1965. And we haven't been hit by a hurricane since. Not too bad for a rush job, huh?
No.
I do suggest going inside and looking at it.
Okay, we're in St. Augustine on the square, whatever it may be. There's the 360 degrees of it. Here we are at the Broken Spoke Saloon. There's the t-shirts. There's the bathrooms. Sheila got tickled about this. They had a place set up in there for the women to do their hair and stuff. There's Sheila. There's the big area they built for the band. Jimmy Van Zant's getting ready to come on. Okay, we stayed at the Howard Johnson. We're in room 422, and this is the view outside our little patio. There's the pool. There's what it looks like. And there's our view of the ocean. And there's our doors, our patio, and our two chairs. And here's the inside of our room. TV. Got a little kitchenette over here.
The plan attempts to open new airspace during bad weather.
Refrigerator, stove, sink, an outside sink, and then the bathroom. Okay. This is where we're staying in Florida City, Florida. Super 8. It's really about a block off the main drag and was kind of hard to find. There's the pool. Haven't been over by it, but there was people in it earlier. There's my neighbors. I'll speak English. We're in room 103. 6 o'clock. Beck and Craig haven't made it in yet. I'll show you what the room looks like. Actually, I'm wrong. It's 6:23. Actually, the rooms look better on the inside than they did on the outside. And something you don't see very often is me. And there I am. And that's the room. TV's kind of old. There's a toilet stool through the mirror. Here I am headed down the Keys, about 65 miles from Key West. You can see the ocean. You can see Conch Key is the one coming up here. See the houses on it. Been on the road about an hour and a half. I got out about 9. Becca and Craig left about 8. So they're somewhere in front of me on the bike. Okay, there it is. 7 Mile Bridge. We've just started on it. I won't tape all 7 miles, but I'm going to tape a good portion of it. You can see Henry Flagler's Bridge over to the side there. And over to the left of the road, you can see where it kind of goes up. You weren't getting any of that, were you? We're on the 7 Mile Bridge. Just started on it. There's Henry Flagler's Railroad over there to the right. There's the big hump to the left. And there's a resort over there to the right. About the 50-mile marker, give or take a little bit. Anyway, we're headed up the 7 Mile Bridge. In the bridge. You can see some keys off in the distance. Here we are coming down off of it. You can really get a good view of Flagler's Railroad. Sorry about the bouncing, but we are hitting some bumps and stuff. And it sure is pretty. I'll say that for it. Flagler's Railroad. I'm not sure what that key is off over there. There's a key over there. Again, 7 Mile Bridge. And we're coming up on mile marker 43. And I've just forced the van and the bike back a marathon, so they'd be clean when we got down to Key West. Okay. I got into Key West about 12:30. Becca and Craig beat me by about half an hour. Here's our room, and I don't remember the name of the motel, but it's in with the southernmost. And there's the view out our door and window. Can't complain about the view at all, unless there's a hurricane coming. Then it could be a problem. Parking's real bad. We're parked over at the southernmost hotel with the van. We got the bikes here. We had a mini traffic jam trying to pull into the lot. There's a view out the window, so you can see the kind of view we'll have. We'll be able to get up and see the sun come up and sit and watch the ocean. There's our room. There's Becca, 111. There's our hotel. And here's the view. We're right by the water. There's a beach right there. And apparently they're swimming in it, because they're swimming. There's a cruise ship out there. And here's our own private dock. Over there we can go walking on. There's our dock. We haven't been out on yet. I suspect we will. Okay, this is for Dad. We're at the Garden Cafe. Becca and Craig's ordering cheeseburgers. The forecast for today is high 80, low 70. We're on Duval. We've got a really nice motel, although it's got kind of a long walk. And there's Becca and Craig getting ready to order our cheeseburgers. Well, if Sheila had known about this Irish pub, she'd have called in sick like I wanted her to. Come down with me. It's right down from Sloppy Joe's. And Duval has really changed a bit. It's really getting commercial now, and it was commercial before. Restaurant after restaurant after restaurant after bar after bar. Okay, we're getting ready to take a conch train tour train. There's all the people going with us in case we crash and burn. And there, nobody will sit by them because they've been on the bike all day and they stinks. Becca and Craig there.
But of course, we got Guam, Puerto Rico, and the Philippines from. And to the right, on the corner here is Mel Fisher's Maritime Museum. And you might have heard about old Mel Fisher. Back in 1985, when he and his crew discovered the single largest treasure wreck ever off the coast of the United States, only opened and closed for presidents of the United States. Their first opened up for Taft back in 1912. The last one I go through there was Carter in 97. But Roosevelt, Eisenhower, Kennedy, and Truman, they've all passed through there. And if you went through the side gate about a block and a half, that's where you'd find Harry S. Truman's little White House. He didn't build it. He was not the first one to stay there, but he stayed there more than anyone else. That's where they get the name from. And everyone, presidents that have come through here have all stayed there, except for Eisenhower, who was not a big Truman fan. And to the left, there's a big old banyan tree. And that is all one tree right there. Remember the ficus family. You'll find several different varieties. By far and away, the most haunted house on the island. Now, hang on there, loved ones, because I gotta tell you a little ghost story here. We got a lot of New Englanders on board here. See this other gray house with the purple shutters? Notice the symmetry of the doors and windows. 3 up, 3 down, like the Red Sox. But the porch goes the entire width of the building, both upstairs and down. Classic New England style architecture. Some are up and down, but the porch wraps around the corner. Slight difference, but important. That's how you tell the difference between the New England style and Bohemian style. And these themes will repeat themselves over and over again here. He's captain for his 2 daughters, and he didn't want to play favorites, so he built the homes absolutely identical as well. And that one by Jerry Herman, Broadway musical composer, famous for Hello, Dolly. And the Monroe County Library to the right, for all you nautical types. And you can see that's Perkins and Sons, ship candle. And there's some interesting exhibits in there. Not exhibits really, but little knickknacks. Look at the back of it, it's not quite done. They've been working on it for about 3 years. And still got about half of it to go. No, man! Make rubber out of the sap in the bark. And it's another one of those ficus trees. All guard. But the Navy has always been interested in Key West. With our national deepwater harbor, they've come here on several occasions. They came in the 1820s for the first time and got rid of the pirates, which allowed us to be founded as a city charter back in 1828, becoming only the 2nd city in Florida after St. Augustine. They also came here during the Civil War and during the Spanish-American War. This was Center for Naval Operations. Also during the missile crisis, played an important role. And they helped us out through some economic hardships. So as we go by Old Perry Court, let's pay a small tribute to the Navy. And if you guys know the words, don't be shy. Feel free to jump in and sing along. And to the right, there's a little bit. As we turn here, you can see on the right.
Richard Funeral Home.
There's a little pink bicycle, a little bingo in the front. How sturdy these houses are built. It's not a huge problem. But with all the wooden houses so close together, fire has always been a major concern. We've burned down on several occasions, and it's not pretty. That's why if you look on the rooftops, you'll see the roofs are all tin here now. They did that after the fire of 1886, when the whole town burned down, all but 3 buildings. Came up with the idea to tin all of these roofs, and it's worked, slowing down the spread of fire, leaping from rooftop to rooftop to rooftop. It also prevented some diseases, as it kept the rainwater cleaner, coming off the rooftops into the gutters and cisterns. Let's do a little botanical tour through here as well. There's a purple and a red color here on the left-hand side. It's called bougainvillea. Ahead of us to the left is a big old silvery palm tree. It's called Chinese fan palms. To To the right, above the mailboxes, very unique Key West bicycle tree. If you look up to the left, there's some coconuts on the corner. On the right-hand corner, there's some orchids with a stop sign. And then tucked in by that little corner there, house 1400 on the right, is got some crotons. Yellow, red, and green-leafed plants, from which derive croton oil, which when mixed with chocolate forms that tasty little treat, X-Lax. And on the left-hand side, you've got some yellow alders. And then some more bougainvillea. Have a closer look at these bougainvillea. Now those are the leaves that are colored. If you look close, there's a little white flower in the middle. They come in all sorts of colors. They're all over the place this time of year. As are the crotons on either side of us, once again, coconuts. And there's an abandoned minivan through the intersection to the left. Above that, it's a big old sapodilla tree. And sapodillas have an ingredient in the bark called chicle. It's what they used to make chewing gum out of. The old brand name Chiclets takes their name from there. Some bright hibiscus on the right-hand corner here, big red flowers. And then some almonds on the left-hand corner here. If you look up, they start off green, then they ripen up yellow, red, and eventually brown. See them up there. West African almonds. The papayas and mangoes, bananas, star fruits, breadfruits, almonds, coconuts, whatever. If it grows in the tropics, it grows here. And if it grows here, of course, it's entirely edible. Take a picture if you like. Nice job. And the blue with a sun in the middle and the conch shell in the middle of that. And that is our flag of independence. You guys are no longer in the United States. We are the only fifth world country known to man. We exist primarily as a state of mind. However, we seceded or others failed. Back in 1982, the federal government put up a huge roadblock along Route 1, the only way on or off the island. They were looking for illegal immigrants and drugs coming up through the Keys, but they were tying up traffic as long as 12 to 15 hours. So we asked them, pretty please, would you let up on the roadblock? You're killing our economy. But they said no. So we said, right. If you're going to treat us like a foreign country, we're going to act like one. And on April 23rd, 1982, we raised the flag of the Conch Republic, and we seceded from the Union. We then proceeded to declare war on the United States. We went down to the abandoned Fort Zachary Taylor, and we attacked. We then promptly surrendered, asking for over $2 million in foreign aid. Which we never got. But it was a very well-publicized stunt, and it got them to lift the roadblock. So we celebrate that every year with a huge week-long celebration, drag races, bed races down Duval Street. The Coast Guard comes on out and takes part. They go out in their big cutters, we go out in our schooners, and they throw thousands of tomatoes at each other. It's a lot of fun. And if you look to the left, Key West AIDS Memorial, how you doing? Very first of its kind in the United States. You just stay up that late. And the Atlantic is very calm, you can see. No waves breaking in here. They all break out on the coral reef, which is 5 miles out that. They're not going to shoot the Blue Lagoon 2 here, by any means. It's all man-made, this one. Therefore, it's not really all that bad considering. But if you guys are looking for a real nice beach, Bay of Honda is a beach up north of here about, well, it's on mile marker 37. And it's a state park, voted back in 1992 to be the, it was John D. Rockefeller's business partner. The two of those men formed the Standard Oil Company and made an absolute fortune. And then Flagler's wife became ill. He accompanied her down to Florida, to St. Augustine, where he discovered that there were really no nice hotels there for them to stay. And the transportation system was dismal. So he began building hotels, 7 in total down the east coast of Florida, and bought up and improved the railway line. You can see a portrait of the guy to the left. He's got the gray hair and mustache, pictured there in the front of the hotel. Now, he extended the railway all the way from St. Augustine to Miami back in 1896. And then in 1905, he decided to go all the way down here to Key West. People thought he was crazy. They called it Flagler's folly, but he did it anyway. And he arrived here on January 22nd, 1912. And if you're wondering why he bothered to come down here in the first place, it was all fairly simple economics. We were the largest city in the state of Florida at that time, and we were the richest city per capita in the United States. The wrecking industry, the turtling industry, the sponging industry, the Navy, the tobacco industry. And with the newly opened Panama Canal,